How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. I'm still waiting on a router, and I'm waiting on some tips, some router carving bits. And I figured while I'm waiting, I might as well try to practice a little bit and bring you guys along. I've been doing more research, and I'm finding out that some of the things that I'm doing are wrong, and I'm trying to correct them. So we did the home sweet home on here. We did that. Well, what I'm thinking now is I'm not going to put the home sweet home on there. For one thing, for a beginner, it's just like that's a lot to do on one little thing for a beginner, and I'm not that good at it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the word keys on it. That's more simple. And then instead of having square letters, if you notice, these are pretty square. They're pretty square. What I want to do is I picked up some more letters, and I had Julie pick them up, and both of them are basically wrong, but we got to keep them anyhow. We opened them, and we'll be using them on other projects anyway. If you notice these letters, they're more rounded on the edge. They're not as sharp, not real sharp. They're kind of rounded. And that's what we want to do. Now we have some here, we got a pack here, and this is the perfect size that we want. These are 1 1/4 inches. The only thing is they're not a very good letter. If you take that, let's see here, let me get an M out of here. Okay, we have an M from each one of them. Look at the difference in that letter. I like this more rounded edge than I do this one here. This is the right size. I think this will work, 1 1/4 inches. This one here is 1 3/4 inches. 1.5 inches might work. 1 1/4 inches definitely would work. But what we're going to do is we're going to lay some of these out on this board, and we're going to try carving them regardless of what they look like, just to see if we can do it for the practice. So we have a pack of the 1 3/4 inches, and we got a pack of the 1 1/4 inches. So, and then I also picked up a bit. This bit here I just picked up at Menards. And it is a 1/8 inch, just a flat bottom bit. I'm going to try it because you could also do the letters flat. They don't have to be curved. But I'm not so sure this one's going to cut that great either. But the only thing I can do is try. That's all I can do until I get this new stuff in that we could use to carve with, like the bits and the router. Just at least try to practice a little bit to see if we can get something fairly decent. So I'm going to bring you guys along. We're going to put the words on here, the keys on this, and keys on this one, both sizes, and try to cut them out and just see what we can come up with. I'm not so sure how it's going to work out, but we'll see. So I'm going to get to laying them out on this board. Alright, these are just practice. I think you would want to measure these a little better. I'm trying to space them out a little more than the other letters were on this one here. That way it will be a little bit easier for me to carve them, hopefully. I'm just trying to get them about where we want them, close. And as you can see, these letters here are a bit too big. But that would actually be okay to carve that on there like that. But these traced out ones I put on here are for the template, and they're just a little bigger than these because we rounded all the edges and it made it a little bit smaller. So this wouldn't look too bad on there, I don't think, as long as the hooks would match on the bottom. But we're going to go ahead and place them on here the way we want them, just like they're on this one. And we're going to go ahead and spray these. We're going to put a little bit of that spray on there just to see. And I'm going to cut the ends. I don't know which one's the top or the bottom on this thing. Okay, we're going to do them just like that. And what I'm going to do, I have my bit in there, and this bit is an 1/8 inch wide It'll cut 3/8 deep, and it's got a 1/4 inch shank on it. So, and it's already in the router. I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can. See, I don't even think these letters are all actually the same size themselves. They almost look like they're different sized. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So we're just going to take some of this black primer, the same stuff we used before, and we're going to spray around these guys. We don't want to hit them real hard because they'll move. Okay, I think that's good. We'll let that set up there a little bit, and then we'll pull them letters off of it. Now I think that worked out pretty good. I'm going to let this dry just a little bit more, and then we're going to get to cutting these out. Alright, I think this has been drying long enough. We're going to go ahead and try to cut this out. If you notice that K, this side of that K is actually bigger than these little pieces, so I'm going to cut it like it is. I mean, they're not proportioned like this K. This K over here is so much more, it just looks so much better. But we're going to cut it out anyhow because it's just practice. And I think we're going to cut down about 1/8 of an inch deep on this. So if I'm doing this wrong and you're into carving and you know how to do it, just let me know, because I know nothing about it. I'm just practicing, just playing here, basically. So I'm going to get to carving this one out. I hope you guys can see okay there. So we're going to go ahead and get her going. I can tell right now this bit is cutting 100 times better than the bit that I got out of that carving box. Definitely 100 times better. It's not burning the wood. It looks good. I mean, I got a nice straight cut now. It's not bumping into the wood. This bit definitely cuts pretty nice. We're going to do this. We're just going to finish this up and see what these come out like. Man, that looks so much better than the other one. These here, this really looks good compared to these. I'm gonna say it has a lot to do with the bit I was using and it not being able to cut through the wood, and then I'm bouncing because it's kind of getting stuck, and I think these are going to turn out a whole lot better. I do believe so. We're going to go ahead and cut the other one out. Be nice if I had a good table to clamp this down to, but we got to deal with what we have. So we're going to go ahead and get on this one and get it cut. And then we're going to spray it and sand it like we did this one over here and just see how it looks. Alright, that's some dusty stuff there. I think this is 100% better than these over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to throw the paint on it and we're going to sand it just like we did this over here. But we're going to paint inside these letters. We'll let that dry up, get the sander back out, get this one cleaned up and see what it looks like. Alright, we're going to use the 80 grit paper on this. We're going to sand it down really good and then we're going to blow it off and see what we got. Now, I noticed the last time when I did this one here, when I was sanding it, that black kind of got on the wood. I don't know how to stop that, but you know, we're going to do our best. I'll sand the living heck out of it and we'll use the 80 grit and then we'll use a 220 and then blow it off and see what we have. Trying to get some of that black off there as I go. Now we're going to run the 220 over it. This one's not quite as good. The bigger the letter was, the easier it was for me to route it. This here looks really nice. I like that. I think if we made some bigger projects and used bigger letters, I'd be a little bit better at it. The little letters just ain't going to cut it. These letters are not going to cut it for me. I mean, they look good. Don't get me wrong. For a beginner, I think they're okay. But for this one here, compared to that one, this is 100% better. Okay, so Julie and I went in and picked up some more letters. We got some 1 1/4 inch, which are the same font as these ones over here. And I think they're going to look a lot better, and I do believe they're going to fit right on our charcuterie boards. So we got those, and I seriously want to do some more practice in here. So before I go messing with them charcuterie boards, I bought some bigger letters, and I got the word welcome spelled out on it. And you get about 4 letters in each one of these little packs. So, and then I got some leaves. I got that leaf, and then we got that leaf right there. So we got a couple leaves. We got the word welcome spelled out, and we got the alphabet and the inch. It says 1.25. So I think that's 1 1/4 inch letters for these. Now, I haven't got any new bits yet, but we're going to try to use what we have to do maybe a welcome sign with some little bigger letters, just so I can practice. I got an old piece of wood behind you guys there, and it's just a junk piece of wood. We're going to go ahead and cut it off and try to put a welcome on it, and maybe a leaf or so, just to try it, to get practice. You know, it's all about practice. You're not going to learn it unless you practice it. So we're going to set these off to the side, and I think this one did turn out fairly good. So we'll get us, I was thinking maybe if I can make a welcome sign, maybe I can throw them with the crafts when we go to sell them, because they have an all-time yard sale here in my area. And I thought maybe if I made a few of these, we can make a few extra dollars off of them. So why not try it? So let's go over here and I'll show you the board that I'm working on. Okay, this is the board that I'm working on. This was an old piece of wood. Remember when we did the live edge chicken coop build? This was a leftover piece, and I figured, why not? We'll try to use it and make a welcome sign out of it. Why not, right? You know, why let it go to waste? It's only 3/4 of an inch thick, but I think it'll be just fine. I laid out here a welcome on it, so I know just about how much of this board I need to cut, and we're figuring we're going to just cut it off somewhere about right in here, and we'll just cut this piece off, run it through the planer, and this is going to give us practice. And if for some reason it turns out nice, maybe I can sell it at a craft show or a flea market or a yard sale or something like that to make a couple dollars off of it, just to try to get some of your money back. Now, I'm not so sure I can cut these little leaves out. I mean, maybe I'm pushing it, but I want to learn. So, and this is how you learn, by practice. So I'm going to get this guy cut off, and we're going to plane this little piece of wood on the planer and get it all marked out, spray our letters on there, and we're going to try it. This is probably the most ugly looking piece of wood that I could find, and I'm always good at finding the ugly stuff. So, and I like it. So we're going to give it a try. So get it cut off and get it planed down for you. Okay, I have all my letters laid out here, decently spaced out. I wanted to try to make sure they were spaced out just, you know, just by looking at them, they look all even. And I think they look pretty good there. I just laid that little straight edge along there up with this side just so I can get a fairly decent straight line on them letters. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our primer and we're going to paint that. And then we're going to get ready to start carving it out. Now we're going to make sure we hold our can up high and very lightly go over this. I noticed I'm getting a lot of like black in the wood. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to change that, but you have to make sure you do it from both sides and very lightly so it doesn't move them letters, because them letters will move on there. Especially them leaves. Them leaves are just very light. My can's way up here in the air, and I think that looks pretty good. I think we could do with that. We'll let that dry and then we'll knock the letters off. Okay, that looks like it's dry enough. We can knock the letters off now and see what we have. I think they turned out actually pretty nice. Really nice. So we'll put these letters off to the side, let them dry real good. I think that looks good. So we're going to get ready to... I'm going to let this dry just a little bit longer. It's still a little tacky. But we're going to let it dry just a little bit longer, and then we're going to start carving. Okay, I think we're ready to start cutting. This thing is good and dry. Now, my thing is I think, honestly, I need a good table. As you guys see, this table moves. I need something really sturdy to put these on so when you're cutting, it's not moving with you. But like I said, this is all practice, and I figured if I could learn to do these carvings with junk bits, you know, bits that ain't even made for this, if I can learn to do it with not good bits, just think what I could do if I had good bits. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this and see how this is going to play out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the inside of these letters out. Then I'm going to make like a cloud around each leaf and do the outside of the leaves. That's what I think I'm going to do. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start on the welcome part, get it done, then we'll figure out what we want to do with this one over here, the leaves. So... try to get comfortable here. I think I'm cutting about 1/8 inch. It looks to be about 1/8 inch deep on this guy. Okay, I got welcome cut out now. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to start working on our leaf on whatever side we can. But I think I'm going to cut the outside of the leaf out, and then we're going to because I know that this little bit, it's only cut an 1/8 inch on here. And there's some sharp points on there. So we'll do the outside and make a little cloud around it on both of these. And then we'll change out the bit and get that sharper one that's in that other kit. And we'll see if we can make it work. I don't know if it'll work, but we're going to try. I mean, it's still just practice. So we're going to go ahead and get set up to do one of our leaves. I guess we'll do this one over here. I'm still having a hard time clamping everything down on this table, but we'll get it done one way or another. So let's get you turned over here a little bit. See if we can get this leaf done right here. Now I'm only going to be using this little bit, so we'll do our best. Okay, I think we did fairly good on our leaf. So we'll cut the other one out just like this. A little cloud around it. And then we'll take our little sharp edge, the little piece that we have that's real sharp. We'll take the little sharp bit and we'll make them little lines in the leaf. I think this is going to turn out fairly decent. So let's get the other leaf set up so we can cut it. And this stuff is messy. And we're going to just do a cloud around it just the same way we did the other one. Boy, it'd be nice to have a good table to set this stuff on. Okay. Let's get started. As you guys can hear, my router sounds like it's about ready to blow up. I think this thing's 1920s or something. It's old, but we got a new one on its way. We just got to bear with it. I think I got a couple more routers in there, but this one's the smallest one I got, so we'll get her. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change our bit out and make these little slices in this leaf. I have that wee little pointy tip in there. We're going to do these little lines on this leaf. I think we can do it. We're just going to take our time and put them on there. I think once we sand them up, I think they're going to look okay. Now we'll do this side. I'm going to move that bit down, or up a little more. I think I'm taking a little too much. We just want a little tiny little mark on there. Just enough that it'll hold paint. Okay, I think that's it. I think this sign is carved enough. I think it looks good. We're going to go ahead and paint it with the black primer. We're going to use the black primer paint, and we're going to see how it looks. And you guys look like you need a good cleaning here too. My goodness, got dust everywhere. Alright, so I'm going to get this router bit out of here, get things cleaned up, and we're going to go ahead and spray this. We just used an 80 grit paper on there. Now I'm going to use a 220 over the top of this. All right. What do you guys think? Think I did okay? Another one down, just practice. And I think I did a fairly decent job on this. I don't have any clear to put on them. I'll go pick up some clear coat so we can clear coat this. And I think I'm getting better. And it's just a matter of having that good bit. Now, my lines are a little shaky, but I think that will come in time. The more I do, I think the better it will get. I think this sign right here, I could put a couple hooks on the back of it, and I think this sign could be sold. And I would say maybe like 20 bucks. What do you guys think? You think $20 you can get out of this thing? A nice little welcome sign? I'm not sure. But I think I did a fairly good job. So we're going to keep practicing until our new router gets here and some new bits get here. And we're just going to keep practicing with that old 1920s router. I don't know what date it is. I don't know when it was made, but I know it's very old. But it still works. It's pretty loud and makes a lot of noise, but it does work. So, you guys just got to hang in there. We will get the charcuterie boards done. I just want to make sure they're done right. I don't want to screw them up. So, you guys know how that is. You don't want to screw up a project you worked so hard to do. So I would like to tell everyone, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Until next time.